All praises to the Most High. May He guide my thoughts, my emotions, my actions, my train of thought, and the words and the expressions that I'm about to display upon this screen. How's everybody doing today? It's nice and sunny over here in good old AZ. Having a great time. Today, I want to discuss something that needs to be discussed, needs not to be shunned away from. And this discussion will be about reparations. Reparations. Let's see what we can come up with here, okay? Let's because I want to get into this subject real fast and hard and heavy because I notice a lot of people shun away from this discussion for some odd reason. I don't know if they feel that we don't deserve it or we get enough already, or I don't know why we don't have a lot of people speaking out about this in our favor. So I took the liberty of doing a little searching for, let me see here. You know how it is when you get on here now, all of a sudden nothing don't want to work. So here we go. Let's see here. No. Here we are. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's one. Let's go back. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Let me do this. This is what we're gonna do. Because I want to be factual here. Reparations. Here is the complete definition of reparations, okay? And as we are having this discussion in this dialogue here, I want your opinion. And as always, I want you guys to use your common sense, okay? Let's just use our common sense here. How's your spirit moving you? What do you think about this? So let's get into it. Reparations. Reparations is the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. The courts required a convicted offender to make financial reparations to his victim. That's an example. The compensation for war damage paid by a defeated state, reparations. So when I hear this discussion about reparations, I get a whole bunch of mixed answers. Well, it means to basically apologize for all the atrocities and all the things you've done to a person or basically a person or a group of people or whatever. So long story short, reparations mean I'm gonna get out there in public and say, hey man, I'm sorry. And it's funny. It's real funny how I talk to certain people, and some people say, yeah, we need the reparations. Let me get some light up here. Okay. See if I can get some better lighting. There we go. There, much better. Okay. So it's mighty funny that, as I was saying, um, that I've had this discussion with several people about reparations, and I strongly believe that we, as a melanated race, Black people, brown people, uh, African descendants, I think we are much deserving of reparations more than anybody else around here, okay? Especially from the United States. And I don't understand why sometimes we bring the subject up about reparations, all of a sudden, we got these shucking and jiving ass Negroes that all of a sudden want to talk about, oh, we shouldn't get reparations. Oh, we don't need no money. Oh, we could just lift ourselves from the bootstraps or whatever. Oh, we could do this, and I'm so sick of you motherfuckers, for real. And I noticed that it's the main people that say this bullshit that we don't need this and we don't need that and we don't need no reparations. We could just do it on our own and so on and so forth. But you know what? It's the main people that's already made it. It's the main people that already got the money. It's the main people who got everything already figured out. And they're doing just fine. And then I'm talking about that's as a mass of people. It'd be those folks here. You kind of remind me of, if y'all already ever seen the Boondocks, you kind of remind me of Uncle Ruckus. You're so against us, and you're that person that's sitting in the background talking shit, and we're trying to get things done. We clearly deserve and are well equipped to receive our reparations. For some odd reason, they're trying to take the history out of the history books of the atrocities they have committed against us. Now, I wonder why that is. I mean, let's just use our common sense here. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a common sense channel around here. This is a spiritual common sense channel. I want you to open up your eyes and your ears and your hearts to really think about what is going on around you, okay? Don't just go by what I say. I want you to use your common sense. I keep stressing that. I don't care about nothing else but common sense around here. Common sense, all right? So let's go to this definition one more time. One more again. Okay, one more again. Reparations, a levy on a defeated country, forcing it to pay some of the war costs of a winning country. Reparations were levied on Central Powers after World War I to compensate the Allies for some of their war costs. Reparations, a repairing or keeping in repair. Reparations, plural, act of making amends, offering expiation, or giving satisfaction for a wrong or injury or something done or given as amends for satisfaction. Now I want y'all to sit back for a second and let that sizzle on your spirit, man. And for all you coons out there talking about how to freak we don't need reparations, man, y'all some suckers. This country owes the black race, the African descendants, so much in reparations, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe that's why they don't want to say or admit that the shit that they do to us or the stuff that they continue to do to us, okay? The redlining, the backdooring, I don't know, bringing up old shit when you go and look for apartments or housing and whatnot. And they bring up your criminal record or something like that from 30, 40 years ago and bring that bullshit up to you. Just some form of redlining or whatever. Or how about the 3 times or 4 times the amount of rent that you need to have in order to get this spot? You know, how about when you go and get that mortgage, you got to have a certain amount in that bank, but they want to know how, when, documentation, how you accrued this type of money. But we don't deserve no reparations. Oh, why don't we go into the latest factual things that have happened to us, which was in the 80s when they flooded our neighborhoods with crack and cocaine and destroyed countless lives, families, and whatnot, including my own. And I have actually participated in some of this bullshit because I didn't know any better. Now, if I would have took this shit that they gave into our neighborhoods and went over there to Mr. Charlie's neighborhood, guess what? They didn't like that shit. That's when they started locking motherfuckers up, okay? As soon as that shit leaked out of the barriers of the urban neighborhoods, guess what happened? That's when they started cracking down on the shit. They started making it a year and a day and all this other stuff, okay? I don't want to get off task, but that is what has happened. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, they flooded our neighborhoods and drained our neighborhoods of our resources, of our educational resources, of our buying power, of everything. Future governors, future business owners. The future was crushed in the 80s because we was up and coming. We had figured it out and we was working. We was doing our thing. You had the mom and pops in the household, and they was making strides, and they was working together, and they was building a foundation. Everything was working just fine. And I'm sure what happened was they came up on some logistics and looked at these logistics and said, well, hold on, man. I think these black folks is coming up a little bit too much right now. We're going to have to slow this progress down once again. But let's go back a little even further, you know what I'm saying, before we get to that point. You know, they want to slow us down there. In the 60s when we was coming up, when mom and dad was in their thing and the Black Panthers and whatnot, we was doing our own business. We had our own stuff. And they stomped that out by flooding our neighborhoods again with heroin. The big heroin epidemic. And once again, you know, you destroyed countless lives and had junkies running around here. You know, my family was closely affected by that situation. And you reap the benefits off of that because we can't fly that shit in. We don't have no planes, boats. We don't control the borders. We don't do any of that. We have no control of what flows into our system. However, we can control what goes out of our neighborhoods so our neighborhoods can prosper. But you guys do such sneaky and diabolical shit that by the time we discover what is going on, it's pretty much too late and you have already destroyed countless lives. We can even go back further. To the Black Wall Street, Greenwood District, Tulsa, Oklahoma, a neighborhood containing many African American businesses in the early 20th century, 1921, in which a white mob destroyed much of Greenwood. That's the one that everybody hears about, and that's the one that everybody talks about. Let's talk about the other one in Jackson Ward, a thriving African American business community in Richmond, Virginia. Burnt down, destroyed by who? Mr. Charlie. Let's talk about the other one. Black Wall Street in Durham, North Carolina. Parish Street on Durham, North Carolina. An area of successful owned Black businesses. Destroyed. These are areas where in the 1920s, back then, they were worth, in the 20s now, close to $10,000. Fast forward to 30 years later, so the 1950s, the estimated revenue was $3.5 million. Now you take that and compound it by, that's this one. That's this one district, okay? That's not all three. That's this one. One Black Wall Street, okay? By the way, we had about 6. But I'm just naming off 3. So let's keep this math going, okay? Let's keep this math going. So approximately $3 million of 30 years later, from 1920 to 1950s. That's how much this might have been worth at that time, which we would have been worth probably a lot more. Now you take that and jettison that up from 1950 to 2022. Because we haven't received a dime for all of the atrocities that have occurred in our community. Not one red penny. So let's go on with this. Let's go on with this right here. So let's see. That ought to be about 30 million. Compound that to the inflation and everything like that. That's just one district now, okay? So with inflation and everything like that and all that stuff that's going on, we're talking trillions of dollars that are owed to the African descendants, the melanated people that have put this country together, held it together, uplifted this country and whatnot, and we can't get one red cent. So for all you coon ass Negroes out there, you still think we don't deserve reparations? For somebody, I don't care who you are, to get up on TV and say, well, I don't think we should get any money. We should get other things. No, the hell not. What? What? We don't. I can't believe that shit come out your mouth. We don't deserve reparations? We shouldn't get no money? Everybody else gets money. Everybody else gets financial comfort and everything, but we don't get anything? When the Japanese were over there in Pearl Harbor, when they got bombed in Pearl Harbor, when they got locked up and whatnot and taken away from their families because of the war, you think they got paid? Hell yeah! And you wonder why they run around here with Mercedes and everything, and nice houses and all this good stuff and whatnot because they got reparations. What have we got so far? Nothing. The Irish community that came over here on the East Coast and whatnot, and set their flagpole down and whatnot, and try to come. You think they got reparations? Hell yes. Let's talk about the big reparations, the big money grabber. Okay, the huge money grabber. The name that nobody wants to mention, but they're controlling every single thing. You know who they are? The Jews. They're controlling the way we listen to our music. They're controlling the way our neighborhoods are divided up. They're controlling everything. I'm not saying that I have anything against them. We do have a few Jewish allies. However, they have got their reparations because they escaped the atrocities that happened to them in Germany. We are still experiencing the atrocities that are happening right now, today, to this date, to this second. We are still suffering and we haven't got a dime. As a matter of fact, the Asians are getting more reparations still to this day. A law went out immediately to compensate them because a couple of them got knocked out. A couple of them got their ass whooped. Now all of a sudden there's an Asian protection law. Do we have anything like that yet? So all you coon ass niggers running around here talking about we don't need no reparations. Are you serious right now? They don't want to give us no economical relief because we know we are a powerful people. We are a powerful race. We are a race of people that knows how to overcome and make do with whatever is on our plate. We have been taught to do things 10 or 20 times better than the average person because in order to get ahead or in order to get to where we was at, we had to be 10 or 20 times better than the average person. We was raised like that. We had to be like that. We had to be ahead of the curve in order to survive. So if all these setbacks have happened to us and we're at this point right now, imagine what would happen if we actually got reparations. Imagine how our community would thrive with success because of the reparations. Imagine what great things we could do with the reparations. Imagine the hospitals and the neighborhoods and the ghettos and all that stuff that have been enforced upon us or conditioned I'm sorry, conditioned into our state of being. How those could be eliminated. Imagine how much stuff we could do to help one another if we actually had the reparations. What, you mad because you have to apologize? Yeah, that's what it means. They probably got to get out there on the stand. You know, Mr. Charlie got to get behind his little podium and whatnot and say, "I'm sorry, Negro, that I did this, and this to you. I didn't mean it, so here you go. This is, what you have. You got to look humble." These motherfuckers don't want to look humble. They don't want to do shit for us. And everybody's running around talking about what we don't deserve. This is shit that we deserve. This is stuff that needs to happen. So all you coon asses talking about how we don't need reparations, man, you need to stay up out of my face. We've been pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We've been doing the most with nothing. Those y'all on the welfare system and whatnot, the welfare system and They call it the handout, or you need some relief for your power bill, electric bill, water bill, or whatever. You need some relief with your rent and stuff like that. They act like they are really giving you some shit, especially the black folks. They need to be giving you that stuff. There need to be no paperwork or nothing like that. They need to be, oh, you black, you brown, whatever. Yeah, you African descendant. Here you go. Because we owe you this shit. But they got us so brainwashed and conditioned not to accept what they actually owe us, because they're making it seem like it's a handout. Are you serious right now? A handout? How is it a handout? Please tell me how it's a handout. Somebody in these comments or whatever, whoever's looking at this video later on, please tell me how this is an actual handout. Please tell me how you getting food stamps or whatnot to help your family or whatnot is an actual handout with all the shit that you have stole from us. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Explain to me how anything that you give any type of black person is a handout, while you give everybody else everything else. Help me out here. Yeah, I'm gonna speak the truth today, man. We gonna discuss some stuff. How come everybody else gets a piece of the pie, but we just won't get nothing? You give one person something, a couple of other people is a little drizzle, a couple other folks a little drizzle over there. But in actuality, you're not helping the masses. In actuality, you're not sending everybody a check, a well-deserved check. Oh, well, if you guys got a check, you guys are just spending on bullshit. So what? So what? So what? If I decide to buy 1,000 hoes with my check, it doesn't matter. It's deserved. I deserved it. It's mine. I don't care what I do with it, but it's mine. We need to stop that crazy conditioning and really use your common sense and tell yourself this is old. This right here is owed to us. Whatever is out here is owed to us. Without us, none of this stuff would be standing. Without us, you'd be just driving along and probably will be no stoplights at every corner. Without us, you would be suffering from heat strokes and whatnot. Okay? Because we invented the air conditioner. Without us, the Model T Ford wouldn't have been invented, because you stole that too. Okay? Without us, you wouldn't have made it into space. The greatest engineering and scientific discoveries that are a tribute to mankind as of modern society of today has been made by us, the African descendants, the former slave descendants. Combat, military training. Did you know, and I think I mentioned this before, and you can look that up too. Did you know that one of the greatest Shogun warriors was black? Look it up. It's mighty funny that every time we come up with a solution on how to get ahead or something like that, how we do a workaround, how we figure it out, how we get our mindset together to try and overcome a situation and make it better. It's mighty funny how you guys always move the goalposts back another 50 yards. It's mighty funny how you guys always put a hiccup in there and you guys give us that same old bullshit ass speech. I'm so sorry, but you know, it's just out of my hands right now. I wish I can help you out, but my hands are totally tied. So maybe next time we could do some, but oh my gosh, I didn't even know that wow, that the rules have changed since then. They enacted a new law or something like that. I totally didn't know nothing about it. So maybe if you come back a little later, maybe we can do something. But right now, my hands are tied. I can't help you. So tough luck. I wish there was something better I could do for you. Ain't you tired of hearing that bullshit? How many times has that happened to you? Some rule or some regulation or something like that. You think you got it all. You think you got it all figured out, and they come with the okey doke or the new rule or the something in the background. And you don't think we deserve any reparations, man? Come on, man. Let's get real. Let's get real. Let's get 100% real and take these blinders off, man, and see what's really going on around here, man. For real. Okay? Stop acting like this is not happening. Stop acting like everything is okay. Stop acting so freaking surprised when you see one of us getting choked out. Stop acting so freaking surprised when you see a Karen flipping out on us in the grocery store or whatever. We need to stop that shit. Stop acting like, oh my God, I can't believe that they're doing this. Nah, man, we need to retaliate, and we need to retaliate with full 1,000,000% just as aggressive as they are. Time is up. I'm gonna bring up another point to y'all, man. I want y'all to use your common sense, man. Use your common sense. All the shit that's been going wrong with us, all the stuff that they have held back from us, all the stuff that they have done to us, all the things they have done to eliminate us as a people, even though we have contributed to America 100 times fold. With our bodies, our souls, our spirits, our ideas, our everything has been, our blood is soaked in this soil of America, and how its success has grown over the years and centuries. But I want you to think about this, and I want you to use your common sense. And this is no shade against the atrocities that are going over there in Ukraine. Okay, this is no shade. I just want you to use your common sense and think about this. First of all, they won't even let us on the train. We all seen that. They wouldn't let us on the train. They wouldn't let us get out of there. Our melanated brothers and sisters are over there. You've seen that with your own two eyes. Now, I want you to think about this. My last thing, what I read, and it could be more, is they got 600,000 misplaced people over there in Ukraine. Almost close to 1 million. It might be 1 million. I don't know the actual numbers. Now, let's move forward. Where do you think all those people are going to go to? Come on now, keep up with me. Where do you think those people are going to set their foot down to? Where do you think they can come to for protection for their complexion? What type of reparations do you think they're going to receive and relief they're going to receive for the atrocities that happened to them? 600,000 plus folks will be heading this way real soon. And what do you think is going to happen? They're going to move in some new Mr. Charlies, and they're going to give the new Mr. Charlies the jobs. They're going to give the new Mr. Charlies the loans. They're going to give the new Mr. Charlies a heads up. And where do you think we're going to be? Us African descendants is always at the bottom of the totem pole. How you think we felt when they said they're going to give these folks, I forget now because I tried to shut it out of my mind, how much money it is going to give the Mexicans and their kids being separated from their parents and whatnot. Well deserved. I'm not saying that they don't deserve any of that money. However, let's think about how many kids were separated from their moms and their families at birth. Let's think about how many children were ripped from their parents' hands and sold off into slavery. Let's think about how many girls were sold off into sex trafficking and whatnot during the slave trade because they weren't considered people. They were considered, I don't know, animals. Let's think about all that. But we get nothing. And then we got coon ass niggas running around here talking about we deserve nothing, or we shouldn't ask for nothing, or, if we give them money, they're just going to spend it with somebody. You don't know how the hell or what the hell. You don't know what the algorithm or the outcome will be once we receive compensation for all of our wrongdoings. You have no clue. And for some of y'all to get up there and talk about what we don't need and how we should just tighten up our bootstraps because you gave a sprinkle of us some money and the rest of us are still looking poor, how you have conditioned our own people that get the money, they move out of the neighborhoods and they're so conditioned that they don't even want to try and uplift the neighborhoods that they move out of. The conditioning of that, but we don't deserve no reparations because somehow you have conditioned our mindset to move out of the neighborhood and spend the resources out of our neighborhoods instead of lifting our neighborhoods up. We have conditioned so that when we move up that we have to move away. Even the people that are there, you have conditioned them to be jealous of us. Why I say us, but we have been conditioned to be jealous of another person's success. So therefore, when that jealousy kicks in, it creates a friction. It's like somebody's being in a big house. And when somebody doesn't see somebody else with food and you're hungry, naturally, you're going to want to eat too. But we're conditioned to take what they have, our own brother and sister. We're conditioned to destroy what they have. And they're conditioned to flee or to move somewhere else where they think that things are better. But we don't deserve reparations. This is a form of PTSD. All this combining things that I'm talking about is a form of PTSD. PTSD is so ingrained in our DNA that sometimes we don't even recognize it. You see what I'm saying? And that water's good. You gotta drink that water, man. You know, alkaline, alkaline water, alkaline water. It's the best. If you can't drink alkaline water, I think the best water out of the tap. No shade on anybody else, but I think it comes with Pacific Northwest. Sorry. That's the only water I know I can drink right out of the tap, put some ice on it, and it's bomb. It's cool. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but for the people out there, man, who think that we don't deserve no reparations, man, he's a sucker. You are the same people that will shuck and jive and tap dance in front of Mr. Charlie with no problem. You are the same people who try and come through the masses of the people who are trying to get the reparations, that are well-deserved reparations, come through and try and convince the masses that we don't need it. You are the same people that will go back, if we were trying to plan something and do something, that will go back and report to Mr. Charlie that there is a problem. You're the same type of person. Because you made it into the big house, you don't want to relinquish any of those gifts. You are the same person that'll sit up here and tell everybody else they need to go and get the gift, even though it's not working. And you'll go for the booster and convince everybody else to get the booster, even though you know the shit doesn't work. These are the very people we need to be very, 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 very skeptical and afraid of, because they'll sit up there and smile and grin all up in your face and act like everything is cool. And at the same time, they're destroying everything that you love or working for or reporting back to Mr. Charlie about what we doing. The time has come, people. The time has come to rise up. The time has come for self-preservation. The time has come to look out for our own with extreme prejudice. The time has come to protect our own and to demand what is ours with extreme prejudice. The time has come and it is now. It's not later. It's not 10 years down the road. It is now. Because best believe when the smoke clears up across the water there and 1 million plus start heading our way, and you're going to see a lot of foreign speaking folks coming around, the new foreign people that are coming in here, you know what I'm saying, that look like them. Watch how much they get. Watch what they get. Watch all the stuff that they get. And watch what we get. And we're still standing around saying kumbaya and please help me and asking the masses to help us and all this other shit. Now, if we can't get reparations, maybe we need to call out the Magic Johnsons, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Kanye West, the Dr. Dre's, the all super mega million stars, you know, even I thought somebody was behind me. Even Tyler Perry, those mega cajillionaires, to put all their money in one pot and just go along and just let's make our community stronger. Develop a central banking system just for us. Develop a centralized construction place just for us. Develop a centralized system that we have board members and we have checks and balances and whatnot that is just within us. That we won't get up there on YouTube, which is Mr. Charlie's channel that we are using. That we don't have to get on Facebook that Mr. Charlie owns that we are using to get out communication. Therefore, sometimes we must talk in code. those with all this money, we need to figure out how to get those with all the cash and stuff together as one and create a powerhouse generation instead of always going our separate ways. It doesn't matter who doesn't like who. It doesn't matter who doesn't get along with who. What matters is, does it uplift the collective people that they're trying to represent? If this all works for the collective, like all of us, then it doesn't matter. We need our reparations. We need our pay. We need our relief. We need our, you know what? I was gonna say we need our apology, but you keep your raggedy ass apology because you probably don't mean it anyways. You know what I mean? But we do need our reparation. We do need what is owed to us. It's owed. It's not even the game. It's owed. Excuse me, you want the Mexicans to get all their shit? And this shit just recently happened. They can't even find their moms and dads and all this shit. But you give them thousands of dollars. You can't give us nothing? Nothing? And then you get mad because we come down there to the welfare office and trying to get some relief or something shit like that, or whatever we're trying to do. You get mad because we're trying to get relief for electricity bill or some shit like that, but all the contributions that my brothers and sisters have did for this motherfucking country, and you can't give us a goddamn thing? What kind of shit is that? If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong, please somebody put in the comments here, getting through this video all this time. Let us know, man. Let me know, man. If I using my common sense, says that I am 1000% right to my opinion. We deserve everything that we should be getting. If it benefits us, truly benefits us, not no freaking crack pipes in the neighborhoods or crack hits or whatever word salads you want to put up in there. We don't need none of that. Okay? What we need is our reparations. What we need is what is owed to us. What we need is a 100% fair shot at this piece of the pie that we call America. We need the playing field to be leveled. We need for y'all to stop acting like our sisters are superhuman as you're doing experiments on them. We need for y'all to stop destroying the manhood of the Black man, trying to take him out of the household, trying to convince him that his or my masculinity is toxic. The greatest thing that ever happened that I've seen in my life was the Black Panthers and In Fact. It was amazing to see a whole bunch of black people getting together, women and men, holding up arms, practicing their Second Amendment, and getting what they wanted. They wasn't holding no signs, they wasn't singing kumbaya, they wasn't doing none of that. It wasn't even violent, they just was protecting themselves, but marching at the same time and demanding. Unfortunately, that's where we are at right now. We need to demand our reparations. Reparations have been on the table for years up in Congress. Years. Years. And they keep voting around it. Years. They won't give it to us. Years. Because we keep on asking for different shit. Years. Because we keep on they keep on using the art of misdirection, telling us to go over here and do something else different as we're helping out the LGBTQ community, as we're helping out women's rights, and as we're helping out X, Y, and Z, as we're helping out all minorities and whatnot. No, we need something specifically for us, specifically for the black community, specifically. And it's well deserved. And we're owed. We're owed this. So stop, you coon ass Negroes, from talking about what we don't need and how we can do something different and how I don't think that's a good idea. There's a lot of people out here, man, that are not as mentally strong as I am, or is not as mentally strong as you, or can accomplish some of the things that you have accomplished in your time frame. You know, there's a lot of things that goes on in the background for their learning capabilities and whatnot that maybe they just can't do it. Maybe they just can't do it by themselves. Maybe they need those reparations worse than anybody else on this planet. And if we can't get them, now let's get the powerhouses together. Let's get all these people with all these millions of dollars together and come and make something out of what we don't have, which is nothing. Come together as a powerhouse group. Yes, like the Asians do. Yes, like the Jews do. Yes, like every other race does. We have been so conditioned to hate one another, hate on one another, or to not to trust one another, that is sickening that we can't get together, man, and make ourselves a powerful nation. Yes, nation of people of who we truly are. We need to come up out of our shell, come up out of our cocoon, and really butterfly to the effect that who we actually are. And we are great, powerful people. We are smart. We are inventive. What we bring to the table is everything. We bring fashion, we bring mathematics, we bring science, we bring everything. We bring, we don't just bring selling dope and bebopping, and low riders and whatever the fuck else and whatever else negative things that you try and portray to the media and whatnot. No, we bring a lot of positive aspects to this country, and we have been doing it for centuries. And you always keep kicking the can down the road and figuring out how not to give us anything that is well deserved. This is well deserved, man. Everything I'm talking about is what we deserve. Everything that I'm saying is what we deserve. This is not a handout. And I know there's gonna be people watching. Well, that's never gonna happen. Da, 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 oh man, they ain't gonna do shit for us. Okay, so they won't do shit for us, but they need to be on notice. Everybody need to be talking about the same thing. We need to be talking about reparations. If we can't do reparations, we need to design a central panel of people, some outspoken people, people from all walks, whether it be Farrakhan, uh, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the political, the spiritual, the whole collective, the acting guild, or whatever you want to call them, you know, the musical, all that, scientists. We need to all get together as one collective, put our money together, put everything as a central organization, and so we can get ahead of this thing, because this thing is about to snowball way out of control, okay? Because I'm telling you, when the smoke clears and 1,000,000+ people start coming over here from the other spot, when whatever they decide to do over there, but trust me, they're coming. And the things that you said that you want to do, you're going to see food shortages and money shortages and everything else, man. We're going to be the last people on the totem pole if we don't get our shit together. So, ladies and gentlemen and children over 18, if you're going to that welfare office and everything, and if you are African descendant of anything there, do not be embarrassed about getting what is yours. You ought to be first before anybody else that's up in there to get whatever this government is supposed to be giving out. First in line, first to receive. Not last, not second, not third, first. Because of all of the great things that we have contributed to this great country of America that has been built on the backs of African American descendants. You say whatever the hell you want to say, but those are facts. So I'm gonna leave you all right here, man. I want your guys' comments and everything later on. You know, I try and do my videos early. I'm gonna try and do some in the evening, but evenings are kind of hard to do because I be really busy in the evening, and shit, quite frankly, I go to sleep. Be tired. But on some real, I want y'all to use your common sense and look up some things, and please tell me why we do not deserve reparations. Or leave some comments in there and tell me how we can go about getting reparations without holding up signs and singing kumbaya. There's a lot of fact finding in this video, man. I want y'all to look this stuff up. You know, look at, not just the one Black Wall Street, but look at the several Black Wall Streets and the reparations we deserve. Look at all the great contributions that we have done for this country, and we still get nothing. We're searching for a seat at the table, and realistically, if we don't come together as one, as a group, as a power source, we don't deserve a seat at the table. Then it's going to keep, sprinkling a little bit here, sprinkling a little bit there, come to the table, enjoy with us, hee hee ha ha, and the rest of us is going to suffer. One more thing before I go. One more thing. This has been on my mind kind of heavily, and I always forget to talk about it. Jury duty. This is the last thing, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Jury duty. If you guys receive something for jury duty, and if you're of color, to Black people, we need to show up, because you never know whose life you're gonna save by being on jury duty. That's something to think about. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that. That's something else for another video, but something needs to happen with this judicial system where we need to show up and show out. And if that means to show up for jury duty to protect one of your brothers and sisters, that's what we need to do. That's going to prevent one of us from going to jail or prison or life sentence or something like that. It takes one or two of us to be up in there and say, hell no. That's where we need to be. And that's the low levelness of how to prevent things from happening besides being judges and attorneys and whatnot. But jury duty, let's think about that, okay? Let's really think about this jury duty thing. And if you get that thing in the mail, man, let's figure out how we can compensate our brothers and sisters for missing working like that. Because the pay is quite low for reporting to jury duty. And I understand we're in a position where we can't report there because we can't afford it. We've always got a hardship. But that's one subject I'm gonna talk about, and leave your comments in there to tell me, what do y'all think about that also. But the reparations and the jury duty will probably be my next topic about that, and how we need to show up and show out all the time. Once you get that letter, show up. They might not elect you. 9 times out of 10, they won't, because you're black. However, we need to show up for real. And that's the only way I think that a lot of convictions and a lot of overturned convictions and whatnot can happen if they see a lot of us sitting in that box, at least 3 or 4. Okay. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button or the dislike button. Tell me what you guys thought about these videos that I'm doing. I'm trying to bring the message to y'all. I'm just a messenger. You know what I'm saying? I am spiritual when I haven't got to the spiritual realm right now. I'm just trying to use the common sense air where I can reach everybody. And I just want you to think. I want you to wake up your consciousness, and I really want you to think about some of the stuff that I'm saying, or most of the stuff that I'm saying. I want to keep rambling and rambling. And that popped out like, oh no, a day later, a little caption popped up, said, okay, by the way, if you do a video at home, we'll let you do live. But if you go out in the streets and try and do a live video, we ain't gonna allow that. And at first I could do lives because there's a couple of videos I got right here. I think the first one and the first 2, those are live videos. They're from my mobile phone. Now I gotta sit in here at home in front of this computer, man, because of the algorithm or whatever YouTube is trying. But they're being sued for misplacing our content and whatnot, and doing funny things with our videos. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but that's true. These are facts. So anyways, one love to y'all, man. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the sunshine or the rain or whatever. Be grateful for what you have, and be grateful that you woke up, and that you will continue on to fight the fight, the great fight of life. Love y'all. Peace. Most praises to the Most High. Always most praises to the Most High. There is no higher, okay? There's nothing like the well-being of the Most High. There's nothing like it. Once you discover it, once you're on it, you're on it. It's within here. It's right here. It's right here. It's in each and every one of us, okay? And once it's in you, there's no defeating you, no matter what. All right? So remember that. Gods and goddesses. You guys remember that, okay? All right? Stay smiling. Stay positive. A lot more things come when you're positive. I know it's hard in these times, but just stay positive, okay? Love y'all.